getting washed. So I know this is kind of weird. Craig and I are going to be gone in an hour or two. And I'm going to be gone to Boise tomorrow to see Bernita. I'm so excited. So while I'm talking to you, I just thought I could get something done. I have, the apricots are ripe. And when they're ripe, you got to do them. We freeze some in quart bags, and then we have 2 freeze dryers that go all the time. And they're really, really good freeze dried. I just take all the bruised spots off, or I just clean them up. They're washed already. And, but I thought I would just talk to you. If you ever want to see my other 2 YouTube channels, just to get to know me a little better, I have one called Nomadical, and I'll put a link down there, and it's just about traveling, and we love to cook outside and have picnics. It's like, it's what makes life romantic. And the other one is I'm a book collector, and I have collected so many children's books that I wanted to do something with them for posterity. So years ago, I started reading children's books and recording them, because we have 2 grandsons and we don't live by them. So I wanted them to enjoy the books, and they live in a very small space and just couldn't have all the books that I wanted to give them. So, but this morning I was thinking so much about, well, for one thing, I'll just be really vulnerable and tell you how much I appreciate anyone who ever comments. I'm not after views and likes as much as dialogue and conversation. And it just means the world to me when someone joins the conversation. I wish we could have the conversation on my front porch drinking iced tea, but you know what? It is what it is. But as I was thinking about that, I thought, look at the color on that. Isn't that just a blushy color? I was just thinking about feedback and God. And I know that I have felt God's pleasure and delight and joy, maybe? Could I say that? When I give him feedback. So I don't want to be like too much information or the whole, get a bedroom thing. But for a woman, in order to have a good lover, a woman must be honest. And if this makes you blush or be uncomfortable, just turn me off. But Craig is a really good lover, a generous, kind, considerate lover. But he didn't come into our marriage that way, knowing how. He's learned how to be a good lover to me, because we were older when we got married, and I was really honest with him. My likes, my dislikes, that feels great. Can you do that more? And I'm not talking just sex, I'm talking intimacy. Anyways, I have this firm belief that God delights in us, thinking he's a good lover, because he is. But I also think he likes feedback. And I think he loves to know that he's the source of our joy and pleasure and delight. And so in like psychology, I think I mentioned this before, there's responses can be one of 3 things. They can be turning towards, turning against, which is like hitting, slapping, running away, whatever. And it can be the worst one for me, because I think I'm autistic or have Asperger's or something. The worst one is just turning away, ignoring, no response, no feedback, no thankfulness, no response of any kind, just an empty void where a response should be. And it's not for our egos, it's for our relationship. And I was thinking about how much God, how much he craves from his creation, from us, a response. I mean, he'd almost rather be kicked in the gut than ignored, And I as I've gotten older, I've made it a practice to decide to be responsive. He can take my anger, he can take my, I don't understand this confusion, but some kind of a response so that he knows and I know that we're connected is what I think what makes his day. Can you imagine making God's day? Can you imagine giving God pleasure? Can you imagine him being delighted with something we do? I mean, that is an inconceivable thought in 2x2 culture. You would be looked at like you were like insane, I think. Anyways, and our response is so feeble, and yet the littlest bit of feedback, I think, goes a long way with God. He's just, and then think of all the feedback of the world over all the years, and you put it in a frame. Collectively, that kind of gratefulness, it's huge. Huge. Okay, this one is so pretty. I'm just going to eat it. Sorry. Summer in my mouth. So good. I wish you were here. Anyways, those are my thoughts today. I'll get back to you. If I get apricots on my shirt for when I go away with Craig here in an hour, I'm going to be so upset.